say.
Who said that? We were looking for somebody to lead it. Come on up. If you would, both of you talk about the rule changes in college basketball this year. In doing games, they enforce it one game, the next game they don't.
Now that's you saying that.
I said that, yes.
We probably have a couple officials out here. Is Denny Farrer here? No, he's not. Bill Bryant? No. I think it is the biggest change in 35 years when you talk about the emphasis on the hand check and they're trying to clean up the game, make it a more free-flowing offensive game. And I'm not real sure that we've ironed out all the stuff along the way. I do think there are some inconsistencies. You know, I think about the other night at Texas-Arlington, we shot 20 free throws in the first half. We shot 6 in the second half. Some of that may have to do with our play in the second half, but I do think they're still trying to figure out exactly what they want to call and how they want to call it.
I agree. I think it's too much of a change, too sudden. And I think that with high school ball, I watched the game in Dallas the other night, and the high school game's more physical than the college game now. And that's to me, that's not a good situation. So I think that at the end of the year, they need to reevaluate. And I still think the game needs to be cleaned up, but not to that extreme.
You teach your players to take charges, and now they've changed the rules just a little bit, and it's rare that there's a charging call.
I think it is very rare. We saw one at Texas State, though, in the last 6 seconds when Will Neighbor took it, which was a very important play and outcome of the game. And my biggest struggle with that, to me, is there are more inconsistencies with the block charge call than there was before the new rule came in.
I agree, but I still think the charge is there. You just got to be probably a little bit more set. And I know we got 3. I think we took 3 in the Texas-Arlington game. Our kids did a good job, but I think they are looking, you know, it's now when the shooter starts up with the ball. So that made a big change. It's not, you know, once they're in the air. So that makes it a little bit harder, I think, for the official to determine. So I think it takes, they're just saying most of the time it's going to be a block.
This is a big week for both your teams. Joe, you play South Alabama Wednesday night. Steve, you got South Al on Thursday at Stevens Center. And there's a doubleheader against Troy on Saturday. Coming off the road, what does that mean to come home and play a couple?
Well, I think it's big for us. When you look at, we played 14 games to this point. We played 4 games at the Jack Stevens Center. We played 10 games away from the Jack Stevens Center. We set up our non-conference schedule, as you mentioned, when you've got most of your guys back. It's very difficult for both of us to schedule home games. But our guys have weathered that storm. And if somebody would have told me back in August we'd be 7-7 at this point, 2-0 in conference play, I probably would have taken it. Obviously, you'd like to be 9-5 or 10-4, but it's not always that way when you're playing one of the most difficult non-conference schedules in the country. So it is big for our guys to get back home. Excited to be there, playing a good South Alabama team coming in, who has also played a very tough non-conference schedule. They played Texas early, led Texas the entire way, only to be beat by 4 at the end, and they've played some other really good opponents. While we're talking about Texas, I want to say one thing. When Foe, as Tuck mentioned, was inducted into the UCA Hall of Fame in 02 or 03, wasn't it? I think.
That was the Arkansas
State.
No, that wasn't a joke right there. That wasn't. It was Arkansas State, right? When he was inducted over there, Charlie Strong was inducted with him, a UCA grad. And as Coach Peterson and I were driving over here, Coach brought up a good point. Foe is probably responsible, I shouldn't say probably, he is responsible for Charlie Strong getting that job. I'm assuming you're going to get a portion of that $5 million a year, right?
I haven't talked to him lately, but after the way we played at Texas, I'd say no.
You were sizzling the nets at Texas, Joe, right?
Very, very well.
Now, Coach, we were talking about officials.
Think about this. Mike Anderson wasn't born in Arkansas. He didn't grow up in Arkansas. And he didn't play college basketball in Arkansas. But I think everybody in this room will agree with me that he is one of us. He's an Arkansan to the marrow of his bones. And I'm not speaking for anybody else up here. I'm speaking just for myself. But never had that feeling with his two predecessors as head basketball coach when they would come here and other places. Coach Anderson was born and raised in Birmingham, Alabama. Led his high school team to the semifinals of the state tournament, averaged 19 points a game his senior year, won all-state honors. When he was at Jefferson State Community College, his tenacity and his work ethic, which we still see to this day, caught the eye of an opposing coach named Nolan Richardson. And when Coach Richardson was named the head coach at Tulsa, one of the first things he did was offer a scholarship to Mike Anderson. During Coach Anderson's 17 years of working with Coach Richardson at Arkansas, he became an integral part of the glory years of Razorback basketball.
Razorbacks! Wow. I've been introduced, but never like that, man. Wow. I'll take questions now. It's over with. I mean, let's just take questions. Truly, first of all, congratulations to the honorees. It's great to be recognized, especially recognized in your state where you're from as being one of the better players in the state. So continued success to those young people. And, you know, Ray and I were sitting up here talking, and of course, Ray Tucker and I go way back. He said, Coach, when did you play in Tulsa? He already knew the answer. I said 80, 82. And so I looked at him. I said, Ray, something don't look right here. You sitting there with a head full of hair. Hell, I don't have no hair. He said, well, Coach, you cut it off. You shaved it off. I said, no, I think these players have pulled it out. That's what they did. But I tell you what, me and my wife, Marshita, and her mother here, we had an early morning drive down. We played last night. I'm sure you guys got a chance to see our team play. Also have, I had some staff in here. Melvin Watkins is in here, and one of our grad assistants, Marcus Monk, is in here. I want to recognize those guys because without those guys, I don't get a chance to do what I do. It's great to see everybody out here, and I tell you what, just sitting here and listening, I get excited about what's taking place. Remember I said, this is year 3. Year 3, we ready to shift it to the next level. And why I say that is because there's accountability taking place on that campus with our basketball team. We're bringing in the right guys. We're bringing the right players. And I think you see it on display. They're playing for each other. Unselfish, fun, exciting basketball. Last night, now, and I'll be honest with you, when we played Savannah State, and I sat there and watched that first half, I told our guys, I'm bored. This is boring here. I sat there and told them that. Well, last night after the first half and the second half, they excited me. I enjoyed watching it. So I like good basketball. I like when guys out there, they're playing hard, they're playing the right way. And these kids, I tell you what, they are playing their hearts out, not only for themselves, but I think for you fans. The Razorback fans are used to a certain style of basketball. And with that being said, we thought we went out and identified the guys that fit what we're doing. One of the greatest things is to do is to go out, guys, get guys that fit what you're doing. And when you're in the state, let's say the size of Arkansas, and you can have those players right here, right at home. Just think about this here, guys. Bobby Porter's get a chance to come back and play in front of not only his